Welcome back to our Border Bowl 11 preview show. Now, we just checked in with both Team Georgia and Team South Carolina.
That's right. I do want to point out something very cool this year. We got logos for both teams now. Team Georgia and Team South Carolina got their own logos. All right, let's hear from the guys that will call the game on our News Channel 6 broadcast. Same team that was part of you, bringing you Game Night Live all season long. Our friends John Hart, Ashley Brown, give us their thoughts.
Brendan, Kira, coming to you from the studios of our news partner, News Talk WGAC. And Ashley, you talked on your radio show a lot this week about Border Bowl.
Yep.
And one of the things we talk about every single year, it never gets old, is how much the players care about this game. When you think about the NBA All-Star Game, Major League Baseball, Pro Bowl, this is not like that.
Yeah, it's not your normal All-Star Game where the guys aren't playing defense. They don't really care who wins. They're just out having fun. These guys want to beat one another. I think obviously it's the Georgia versus Carolina rivalry. I think South Carolina always kind of plays with a chip on their shoulder. For whatever reason, they flat out go at one another, and it makes it such an entertaining game.
So let's talk about Team South Carolina, why they have that chip on their shoulder. Haven't scored in this game in 4 years. Now, one of those years was the COVID year.
Yep.
There was no game, but you have to go back to 2019 for the last time Team South Carolina put a point on the board.
Yeah, Team South Carolina jumped out to an early 5-2 lead in the series, but the last 2 games not only have been won by Georgia, but have been shutouts and pretty dominant performances. So there's no question Team South Carolina has something to really prove this year. And I know they've got the right man for the job in Brian Smith, a veteran coach. He loves what he does. He loves being around all these kids. And I think, he would love nothing more to be the guy to break that streak.
Team Georgia, though, when you look at that roster, and we talked about it a little bit on your radio show last night, stacked from top to bottom.
Yeah, and I really think if you look at the skill position guys, C.J. Holmes, Javaris Harris, Rondarius Gray, guys who are game breakers, Kasai Jones, I think those are some of the guys that it's going to make it difficult. Telly Johnson and Nathan Edwards, our partner, pointed out the linebacking crew. When you talk about Brandon Lively from Burke County, Telly Johnson and Wes Michelson. So they've got some athletes. Team South Carolina is going to have their hands full with that roster.
You pride yourself on picking sleepers. The guys we may not see that stick out to us on the roster who might have a big game tomorrow. Give me one for Georgia, one for South Carolina.
I'm going to go the Burke County guy, Rondarius Gray, for Team Georgia. He's a game breaker with incredible speed. He seems to come up big for Burke County, and they need him. I'm going to go with him. And for Team South Carolina, this was tough. I'm actually going, the linemen don't get any love. I'm doing it this time. I'm going to go with defensive lineman Jaden Eason. I think he can be a real difference maker. He's strong as an ox up front. And if Team South Carolina is going to win, they need their line to play well and stop that run.
And last question. Got to put you on the spot. Give me a pick.
Oh, this is tough. I just got to go Team Georgia. I think it's going to be really close. I wouldn't be surprised if it's neck and neck down the stretch. I'm going Team Georgia 20-17.
You and I are very similar in this pick. I too am going to go Team Georgia, a little higher score. I think that it's a 30-27 game with Team Georgia up by 10 late in the game. South Carolina scores to make it very close, but can't quite get over the hump. Team Georgia, 3-point win.
Going to be tight either way. Yeah,
going to be tight either way. All right, Brendan, Kira, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Well, every year, Border Bowl gives back to the community. We'll introduce you to the very special family that will be doing the coin toss at tomorrow's game.